Hello everyone, how's it going? We all know how good exercise is for the body, but as we get older, we start wondering and worrying about injury. We wonder what exercises really are good for me to do after age 50. Toward the end of today's video, I'm actually going to have you do a simple little test, kind of to test your physical fitness. If that sounds interesting to you, then keep watching. Now, regular exercise can actually decrease our risk of heart disease, diabetes, and other conditions that actually tend to start when we're in our 50s. But it can be really hard to start exercise, to get in the habit of exercise and then to stay in a routine. But it's so important that we stay active, and the best thing we can do is to try to be active doing something we enjoy or something that we feel like we can do consistently. Now, it's recommended for adults to get 150 minutes of moderate intensity activity in each week, which works out to be about 30 minutes a day, 5 times a week. It's also recommended to get 2 days in of strength training. Now, you'd always want to check with your doctor first, make sure that an exercise is going to be safe for you, or he may be even able to help you to figure out how to modify the exercise. But if you're dealing with chronic conditions, especially like arthritis, diabetes, or heart disease, you definitely want to check with your physician. Or even if you've had recent surgery, you certainly don't want to cause any injury that will give you more pain, which could lead to being even more sedentary. Now, as we get older, there are actually 4 main types of exercise that we want to include each week in our activity, in our weekly routine. And that would be endurance, flexibility, balance, and strength. Now, it's very important to start slowly and gradually increase what we're doing, even though it's recommended 150 minutes per week. If we haven't ever exercised much or we're just getting back into exercising regularly, you may even want to start with just 10 minutes a day and then just slowly build up as your strength increases. But you want to keep positive, because really the smallest changes can produce some amazing results if we're consistent. Now, endurance usually involves cardio, some kind of cardio, which is excellent for our cardiovascular health because it does raise our heart rate. Of course, as we get older, the low impact exercises are going to be a lot better and a lot easier on our joints. So that would be like walking, swimming, dancing, cycling, and golfing. I just read recently that just an average round of golf sometimes gets people doing up to 10,000 steps. So that's pretty good. You may be wondering, what is moderate intensity? A good rule of thumb to think about, because you don't want to work too hard and hurt yourself, but you also don't want it to be too easy. So what you could do is think about when you're doing an activity, if you're able to talk, that's moderate, but you shouldn't be able to sing. So just keep that in mind. Now, flexibility exercises are also very important because we do become less flexible as we get older. But if we can just do daily light stretching, it can really help us with our flexibility and our range of motion. We definitely want to make sure our muscles are warmed up, though, before we do the stretching. In fact, anytime we do any kind of exercise as you get older, you want to spend a little bit more time warming up, because our muscles do tend to get tighter. Some people even like to use the foam roller before they start exercise, just to try to loosen up their muscles a little bit. It can actually take us twice as long to recover from exercise now that we're in our 50s compared to when we were in our 40s. So we definitely want to be careful about that. Balance exercises are super important. Sometimes you don't realize how bad your balance is until you start doing balance exercises. So if we can maintain a good sense of balance, it's actually very important to help us to prevent falls. One of the common ones that people do is to attempt to stand on one foot when they practice just staying on one foot for a few seconds. If you're feeling unsteady, though, or you're concerned about your balance, you would want to have like a table or a chair, maybe a counter nearby, just in case you need it. Now, before we move on to the importance of strength exercise, I'd like to remind you to please like and subscribe if you would like YouTube to notify you of my next video when it's coming out. Now, strength exercises are super important as we get older, because we do lose muscle mass and strength. And keeping the hips and legs strong it's very important to help reduce the risk of falls. There's different ways that people do this. Some people like to use weights. Others use resistance bands. But there's also even exercises you can do where you just use your own body weight. And you can just do those and increase your muscle. Now, the important thing is to keep perfect form, which can be sometimes hard to do on your own. So you might want to use, you might want to have a physical therapist or a fitness instructor to help you. I know I like to watch a video when I'm doing exercises because it gives me the guidance I need to make sure I'm doing the exercise correctly, because we don't want to injure ourselves and we also want the exercise to be effective. Okay, so are you ready for the test? Okay, so this is what you're going to do. You're going to try getting up from your chair without using your hands. Okay, go ahead and give it a try. So how did you do? Okay, maybe you're going to try it later. That's okay. When I tried it, I was able to do it, but you could really feel the muscle strength you need in your legs and your core. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Well, let me know in the comments below how you did when you get a chance to try that later on. So it could be so easy for us to become sedentary. You know, we get so tired, perhaps from work. We may be dealing with a health issue, or for various reasons we just don't have the motivation. But it's such great health benefits if we can exercise regularly, because we all want to be able to perform activities of daily living independently for as long as we can. Exercising regularly helps to improve our muscle strength and bone density, and helps us to offset risk of chronic illness and disease. But even if we already have some of these illnesses, conditions, it can help us to manage those conditions. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's video, the information, and I hope to see you in the next video where we'll discuss another way we can improve our health.